Hello, dear viewers. I'm George from Ireland, and this video is on the latest installment in the Meghan and Harry saga. Their Royal Highnesses, as they don't style themselves anymore, have a new plan afoot, but it was being leaked out. Was that deliberate? Was it a carefully contrived leak? I'm not sure, but is a way that people often test the waters with a certain idea that they're going to establish their own award scheme to rival what the United Kingdom does, what many countries do with various medals or titles for people whose meritorious service merits recognition. And in the United Kingdom, Her Britannic Majesty, she awards various gongs. You can be knighted, you can get a peerage, but things like OBE, Order of the British Empire, MBE, Member of the British Empire, Companion of Honour, and on and on. I know some people say this OBE because it's got British Empire is outdated. The British Empire hasn't existed for a long time. But that's by the by. Most countries have their own honour system, and the Queen of the United Kingdom is awarding it on behalf of a country, and other countries do it on behalf of their nation, and so forth. The Queen is a head of state. You might think it's a rubbish system, but she is a head of state. If there was a president in this country, the president would do it instead. Um, so, but who are these people, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, to award such things? Hey, anyone could set up an award scheme. I could, but doesn't it smack of a staggering arrogance to do so, especially to rival the United Kingdom's official system? Now, they haven't actually said they want to outshine or even equal the UK system, but the subtext is unmissable. The United States has got its own system like Congressional Medal of Honor and so forth. These people, they want to be private citizens in a way. They're not working royals, they're not senior royals, so they're junior royals, they're non-working royals or something like that. But this pair, they always want to have their cake and eat it. They want all the glitz, all the glamour. They want the media spotlight when it suits them and then go away when we don't like you. And they demand media coverage which must be entirely laudatory. So they want to project this carefully curated image as though their life is an Instagram account. But oh no, don't you dare poking your nose in where I don't like it. Well, tough. You know you can't have it both ways. These two. So they often savage the media. These two are sworn enemies of press freedom, but they cannot bear to be out of the newspapers for a single day. A media hoe would describe both of them. So they're going to set up this system of gongs, awarding people prizes or titles or whatever. I'm not suggesting like hereditary titles for environmental activism, for working for racial justice, contentious term in itself, or what they've done in the media. But it's bitterly ironic that they should have media awards when, of course, as I say, they are the deadly foe of the free press. The press is only to be a typewriter for them, only to blazon forth their supposed glories, not to go asking pesky questions. It'd be most impertinent of them that the media publish anything this pair find remotely disobliging. They just fail to rise above it. Remember the old adage, never explain, never complain. And so some royals have managed not to let it get to them. At least they don't let it show. Many have failed, and I think we should rightly castigate the Prince of Wales, for example, Prince Andrew, for whining about the media, or Prince Charles, they call him Prince of Wales because he's always wailing about it. So they've screwed up in various ways. And Prince Edward, Prince Anne have got things wrong too, but I don't think they've got moaning about receiving a very unfair press. Oh, dums, my heart bleeds. So, but these two, Meghan and Harry, are so litigious. But I did read today that Meghan won some court battle or other. They need to develop a thick skin. So some members of the press, perhaps the Queen, is a bit pachydermous in this sense. They need to rise above it. All right, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. Well, they did, but it was more like out of the frying pan into the fire, going to Santa Barbara, constantly broadcasting things and giving media interviews, trying to make sure that their image is in the press because they're going to live by that. They love it. They actually crave attention, but pretend to detest it, a bit like the late unlamented Princess Diana of unhappy and inglorious memory. So the duplicity of this pair is truly nauseating. See the dastardly fashion in which they poignarded Kate Middleton in the back in that book, which they denied having any connection to, but now they acknowledge that they did, in fact, assist finding freedom. So if you live by the media, you shall die by the media, to paraphrase Jesus Christ. So, but their whole attitude to the media seems to be, see you in court, suing for libel and invasion of privacy and so on, when they so often invade their own privacy. Meghan Markle talking about something deeply personal. What about medical confidentiality? Talking about her miscarriage. Of course, yes, it's her right to disclose her miscarriage, as it would be her right to keep it secret. But don't say that your privacy is sacrosanct when you're going to talk about something that privately in such a public manner. So they always want to bring these things into the public forum. And so it makes no sense at all. It's really the height of illogicality. So is this part of a PR charm offensive, or is it just offensive, their current behaviour? I saw a poll the other day. 80% of Britons believe that Prince Harry will not return to the United Kingdom. Remember, he's in this probationary period. He went away for 12 months. That 12 month is up in March 2021. Now, that poll didn't say whether they want him to come back or not. Now, the remaining 20% don't all believe that he will come back. Some of them believe he will come back. Some of them are neutral, can't say. But I would think those who want him to stay away is pretty similar to the 80% who do not believe that he shall return. So I think their titles must be stripped at that point. Will they be stripped? I think so. I didn't say I was sure, because they just broken all the rules. This latest deal with Spotify, endorsing this coffee, which is supposedly like a women's coffee, a women's startup. So they're not to be given their backing to any financial product. I'm not sure if they've got financial interest in that. I know the Prince of Wales, he's got this Duchess of Cornwall estate, and they sell marmalade and things from that. I think that's different, because that's an estate they've had in the family for centuries, and that is provender that is from the land that they directly own. It's not something they set up new. Am I splitting hairs? Is that wrong too? Okay, maybe it's wrong too. Maybe the Prince of Wales shouldn't do that either. There are broader issues to talk about funding, but Prince Charles, love him or loathe him, he does at least show his face in the United Kingdom and turns up for a few of these media events. Whereas Meghan and Harry, they want to be every bun fight and banquet in Hollywood, no doubt, her being belle of the ball when it suits them, but not doing the tedious fuddy-duddy duties in the United Kingdom or Commonwealth countries. So these two, they are prostituting their image, going to drag the name of Windsor through the mire, anything that'll make them filthy lucre. So no, I don't like these one whit. People say, oh, he's sixth in line of the throne, he'll never get it. I wouldn't be so sure. All it would take is one car crash, and we've had that before, plane crash, a bomb in the right place, and he's king. So I think that possibility must be obviated, and these two freeloaders and scumbags should have their titles removed. If they had the slightest shred of decency, they would have renounced these a long time ago, but I'm not sure that they have one whit of that. So there we are with Meghan and Harry. Who do they think they are to accept these things, to be promoting their worldview? Of course, they have the right to opine legally, but morally they shouldn't. That's what royalty is to be about. It's meant to be above politics, meant to be neutral, that every citizen of that monarchy can look to this person and believe this is my person, and not to be taking sides on contentious issues. And I know others like Prince Charles have done this wrong too, and he too should be excoriated for it. All right, so that's enough about Meghan and Harry. Toodaloo.